What's up guys? What if you just completed the Crown Vic swap on the front of your F100? And or what if you completed the S550 Mustang rear end swap on the back of your F100 and you're wondering what size of tires and what size of wheels can you stuff underneath the sheet metal? Well, what I've got here are two different size tires, two different widths of wheels, and two different offsets to see what I can stuff underneath my truck. Now when you do those swaps on these trucks, you're changing the bolt pattern of the wheel hubs from the, I believe it was 5 by 5.5 that was on these trucks. Now we're doing 5 by 4.5 or 5 by 114.3 if you're doing the metric stuff, which is more common I think these days. So I got different bolt patterns for wheels, so I have to use different wheels than what I had on this truck originally. And on the back, same thing, that Mustang rear end that I have, it takes that 5 by 114.3 millimeter bolt spacing. So again, the front and the rear are the new bolt patterns that I have to do with this truck instead of what I had before. Also, when the mounting surfaces, the hubs of these, of the front and the rear, are also wider than what was on this truck. So it's also going to change the back spacing or the offset of the wheels that you're going to put on here. They're not going to be the same ones that went on there before. And then I'm going to try to maximize what I can stick underneath this truck. So try to get as close as I can to the outside of the fender lips, but not get too close to the inside where things are going to rub. And on my truck, what I've got is I've got two different size tires here, two different widths, and I want to see what will fit, you know, trying to maximize what I can do here. This is something that we don't normally get to see very often because you often just get the wheel in size that somebody says they did, or you did some measurements. But I want to show you guys what fits and maybe what would rub if you went with one size and what you can get away with another size. Let's go ahead and raise the truck up. Let's start with the rear because I think that's going to be easier to see what will fit in the back on my 68 F100. So what I had on here is just a 17-inch wheel, and I needed to have that for clearing this caliper. You might be able to get away with 16s on the back of this with this S550 rear end, but you got to make sure that you're going to clear this caliper edge, and I couldn't do that with the steel wheels I had. So I'm going to go with 19s. In fact, let's talk about the two different wheel sizes and tire sizes and everything that I got going on that I'm going to try on this truck. All right, so what I've got here are, these are 19-inch wheels. That kind of gives away, I guess, the wheel style that I'm going to go with on my truck, so that's going to be not a surprise for a later video, but that's okay. So what I have here, so this is a 19 by 11 with a 50 millimeter offset, which is like about an 8-inch back spacing for if you keep track that way, and a 305 35 19 tire. This, I use one of those wheel gauge, you know, those metal things that you can just bolt onto the hub and see what size tire will fit. And I might have gotten too greedy with this size tire, and more so than the wheel. Trying to get an 11-inch wheel underneath here might be more than what I can do. So that's why I have a 19 by 10 with a 35 millimeter offset, or what is that, like around 7 inches, I forget what the math is, back spacing, and then 295 35 19 tire. Also, just a heads up, when you do performance tires like these, the section width, the tread width tends to be a little wider than if you were to get some cheap brand, generic, you know, same size tire. You might find that the tread pattern is a little skinnier and you'd have more of a rounded sidewall. These are fairly, you know, almost 90 degree, not really, but these things are a little more squared up on the edges than the cheaper tires out there. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're trying to fit your sizes. So let's see if this will fit up there. So we're gonna try to stuff the 11-inch wheel in here first and see how close everything is. Let me grab some lug nuts. Another important thing that I should probably point out for those that are doing this same setup, the studs, the wheel studs here are not the same size as the Crown Vics. So those are a half 20, 1/2 inch 20 threads per inch studs up front. Back here they're metric, and it's an M14 by 1.5, I believe. So you have to get two different sets of lug nuts for your wheels. I went ahead and just got some black ones that both use a 3/4 inch socket, so it makes it easy for setting these up. But just a heads up on that for those that are doing this game. So we are let's get the camera. I'll show you what I'm talking about, how close this is. Okay, right off the bat, if we come down the side. Now, something to think about when this truck lowers, the suspension's gonna go up and in just a little tiny bit. So we may still rub on here. Now, because I have this whole Mustang S550 rear end, there's no lateral movement in the axles like there are with the Ford 9-inch that was on here that could move side to side unless you had like a 3-link or a 4-link setup. This isn't gonna move, so I don't have to worry about, as the truck going around corners, that this thing being, relative to these fenders, they're not gonna change, but it is really, really close. And then if we come back here, oh, we can't see. There we go. Now you can see, it's so close. I might have gotten a little selfish with the fitment of this. And so what I want to do is let's drop the truck down and see if this thing tucks up inside there as we put it on the ground. Ooh, that's a close fit. Well, we're not touching, so that's a good sign. Let's look underneath the back. All right, oh yeah, we got plenty of room. I thought that this would be a lot closer to that sheet metal up there, but we got quite a bit of room. There's at least probably 3/4 of an inch of space up there, so that's a good sign. I was worried that it would be a lot closer, but out here, it's so close. Now I haven't set the height of the truck yet. I want to mess with that some more with those coilovers, but the big thing is that I wanted to see how much space we would have in between there with 11-inch wheel and a 50mm offset or 8-inch back spacing. If we try to set the truck down, let the suspension settle, we're pretty. I mean, I can't even get my pinky in between there before it gets pinched. I could roll this trim or take this trim off and roll the fender. I don't know what I'm going to do there, but it is good to know that a 305/35 19 will fit on a 19x11 with a 50mm positive offset. So cool. So then if we know that fits, then the 295 will definitely fit. Let's throw it in there real quick and let's just see how it fits. Alrighty, so now we know what the 11-inch does. So this 10-inch wheel will just fit even better. Now with this 35mm offset on the 10-inch wheel, we're actually closer to this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See if we come up here. It just seems like we're a lot closer now. This thing will go in a little bit when we drop the truck, but we got plenty of space back here. That's not an issue anymore, right? But we might, I don't know if we can get away with a 35mm offset on this side. Let's drop the truck and see how it fits. Settle that a little bit. Woohoo! Oh guys, it is touching, so that's not gonna work. And again, it's not the tire width, it's the offset of that wheel. In this particular style of wheel, I can't get the offsets that I'm looking for. So I guess it kind of solves the riddle for the rear. We're gonna try to do 11-inch wheels with a 50mm offset. I could have gone a little bit wider tire, maybe. Anyways, let's do the front and see how that looks. Now for the front, we have a little bit different dynamic because we got not only to worry about the fender clearance and stuff in here, but we also have to be able to turn that wheel. So we almost have less to work with on the front. And just like the rear, we'll start with the wider wheel because this is going to be the toughest fit. And remember, we got that different threads on the front studs up here than the rear. So you got to take that into consideration when you're getting your lug nuts. So, okay, let's get the camera out and look at it. All right, right off the bat, we got plenty of clearance up here, I believe. Again, it's hard to show with the camera, but we're good there. We're not gonna touch there. Everything looks good. And see how close we are. Let's get the light in here. You see how much space we have? We're good there, but as the suspension compresses, this control arm is going to go up and it's actually going to go that way just a little tiny bit. So the top of that's going to get closer to that shock tower. We're probably going to be fine, but my concern is the sway bar. Let's turn the tires. Oh, see, there. I am touching the sway bar, and I don't even know if I'm done turning the wheel, so that's gonna be a problem. Let's check the back. Let's turn it the other way. Now, yeah, see, we're touching too. You can't see it in the camera, but up there on the control arm, we're touching that. So let's see. So on something like this, you know, you could put a spacer on here. Then you start to reduce the amount of threads that you're grabbing with the studs, although there's a little bit extra in here. I could probably be okay, maybe with something like a 1/8 of an inch or 3mm spacer. But I don't even want to set the truck down, because if I'm already hitting the sway bar and the upper control arm, I feel like I'm forcing it with this. So let's put the 10-inch wheel on here and see what kind of clearance we get. All right, so we're still getting this clear. Let's get the camera out and take a look at it. So we look up here on the edge, pretty close, but I think we're gonna be fine there. And then, let's come around this front side here. So we got a lot more room up there. Let's turn the wheels and see how close we get to these parts. All right, cool. So we can get a finger in there. We're not touching up here, not touching up there. This looks like this is easily the better pick. Let's turn the other way. Yeah, we are not, and again, it's gonna be, you guys can't really tell very much in the camera, but we've got plenty of clearance from everything on this side. That looks a lot better. So now all we need to worry about is if this is gonna touch up here. And in the camera, you guys can see how much, you know, this is all going to be dependent on, you know, how far I lower the truck, and then if you wanted to modify the fender lips. But let's square this up. We'll lower the truck, and then we can turn the wheels back and forth and see what kind of fitment we got. So we get the suspension to settle a little bit. Okay, so we clearly got enough room there for that, and I'm gonna do coilovers in the front so I can drop the front down the road, but for now this is the height that I'm stuck at, and looks like we're gonna be okay. Let's turn the wheel. Now, because I have that electric power steering, that Mustang electric power steering, this thing is so slick on how easy it is to turn this wheel. Look at that. It just turns. I love it. All right, cool. Yeah, we got plenty of clearance in there. That's not an issue at all. Yeah. Let's turn the other way, just double check. The steering is so awesome. Yeah. There's plenty of room. And when I drop the truck, I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do about this fender edge here, but that's a problem for future Andy. I think we know what we need to know about this wheel fitment. So I guess that puts us where we need to be in terms of information. What I wanted to find out is what wheel's gonna fit, what tire would fit. Obviously the wheel fitment is more important. You could have, I guess, taller tires, which might cause other problems. And, you know, I probably should have mentioned too on that back, when I put the 10-inch wheel on there and that fender trim was touching the side of the tire, I could remove that trim, or I could even roll that edge. And I don't know if you guys are wanting to modify the fenders of your truck to make the fitment work, well then you want to have that information. But the big thing is what will fit. Could we fit something else in there? I think I could have squeezed a little bit more. If you were to do custom wheels with a custom offset or back spacing, then you can get away with maybe scooting, like on this is the 11-inch wheel with that 50mm offset. If we did like a 25mm offset, or maybe 20 millimeter. We could scoot this tire in a little bit more, this wheel, but when you're buying, you know, off-the-shelf wheels, you're stuck with the offsets that they offer. So for this setup, this was the better fit for the rear, and this was the better fit for the front. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I got to make some decisions on what I'm going to buy. I would like to go square setup with the truck, but you know, it's not going to hurt. I mean, the nice thing about doing square is that you can rotate your tires, right? You'll be able to rotate, you know, whatever you got going on, and this way, I don't know, I'm kind of stuck with what's on the back there. But although the miles that I put on my truck, I don't know how much you guys put on your truck. I'm not going to wear these tires out in a year or anything. Well, it depends on how many burnouts I do, right? Cool. So guys, I just wanted you to have some information on what it's going to take in terms of wheel size. I'll put all the information below in the description of the specific wheel sizes and the tire sizes. And I was trying to get as tall a tire as I could. I wanted a tall sidewall, but I wanted a big enough wheel. So I had to do 17s in the rear, but I wanted to do 19s in the front because I plan to do big brakes down the road on this truck. So I need to make sure I have the clearance for that. So, you know, depending on what you guys are going to do, the diameter is less important than the width and the offset, right, for what we're doing here. So anyways, enough rambling. You guys got the information you need. Hopefully this helps you guys when you're figuring out what's the widest meat you can stick underneath the sheet metal of your F100 when you do that Crown Vic swap and or that S550 swap in the rear. Hopefully this helps you guys out. All right, we'll see you in the next one.